By the time they recognized their fatal miscalculation, it was too late. Hitler had risen as an outside agitator, a cult figure enamored of pageantry and rallies with parades of people carrying torches, and observer said looked like rivers of fire. Hitler saw himself as the voice of the folk, of their grievances and fears, especially those in rural districts, as a God-chosen savior, running on instinct. He had never held elected office before. As soon as he was sworn in as chancellor, the Nazis unfurled their swastikas, a Sanskrit symbol linking them to their Aryan roots, and began to close in on the Jews. They stoked ancient resentments that dated back to the Middle Ages, but that rose again when the Jews were made the scapegoats of Germany's loss and humiliation at the end of World War I. Seen as dominant in banking and finance, Jews were blamed for the insufficient financial support of the war effort, although historians now widely acknowledge Germany lost on the battlefield and not solely for lack of funds. Still, Nazi propaganda worked to turn Germans against Jewish citizens. Nazi thugs taunted and beat up Jews in the streets and any Aryans who were found to be in relationship with them. The regime began restricting Jews from working in government or in high-status professions like medicine or law, fields that incited jealousy among ordinary Germans. I read this passage to you from Caste, C-A-S-T-E, by Isabel Wilkerson, because I wanted us all to see the similarities to Hitler's regime and what's taking place in the USA now. Yes, we are at an inflection point. We are at the climax of the story, but we are not powerless. We can make a difference as a people. We, the people of the United States of America, the 99% of us can make a difference. But we can never forget history. We can never forget that this is a story as old as time, that this is not a new playbook to pit people against each other by stoking the fears and hatred and insecurities and confusions of us all and driving us all to almost feeling hopeless. But we're not hopeless. It is not too late, as it said in the first sentence. By the time they realize their miscalculation, it's not too late. We can do something.